Breakfast and brilliant ideas, coffee and conversation, we're serving up that and much more at IBJ Media's events. Join us at an upcoming event and kickstart your day with fresh ideas and new connections. Check out our event lineup and register now at ibj.com/RSVP.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Tretau, an Italian company that specializes in magnet wire production, plans to invest more than $18 million to establish its first manufacturing facility outside of Europe in Fort Wayne. Greater Fort Wayne Inc. CEO John Urbans says the news reflects a growing interest in Northeast Indiana.
Our population base is growing, our workforce is growing. When people come in, especially from outside the U.S., they talk about the work ethic, and they hear from companies that are already here about the great workforce. And I think that's a big driver of companies deciding to take a look at our community. And then when they get here, we work with them very closely and work to make deals happen.
The facility is expected to employ more than 70 people in the next few years. LSI Group, a manufacturer of metal roof components headquartered in Logansport, will soon be under new ownership. The company is set to be acquired by Ohio-based Worthington Enterprises in a deal valued at $205 million. The acquisition is expected to close next month, pending regulatory approval. Construction is underway on a nearly $67 million project at Ivy Tech Community College, Fort Wayne, including a new nursing and health sciences building, along with renovations to the school's Coliseum campus. College leaders said the upgrades will help ensure the campus continues to provide students with a modern, innovative learning environment. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Now training its 11th cohort of student entrepreneurs, startup Moxie in South Bend plans to expand programming, deepen its regional footprint, and develop new tools to measure its economic impact. The organization is preparing to launch an afternoon cohort for the first time, broaden its partnerships with local colleges, and scale enrollment to record levels, marking a critical inflection point for a program that serves as both an entrepreneurial training ground and a talent pipeline for the region. Logan Herzog is Executive Director of Mishawaka-based Regional Innovation and Startup Education, which founded the Startup Moxie program.
We're really aiming to get about 120 kids into the program next year. So our goal is going to be to grow the hell out of this over the next few cohorts. Our kids are using the same tools that I used in Silicon Valley. What students are getting to do now is build in a similar environment and with similar tools as people launching true tech startups on the coasts. And I think that's been my vision coming from that world. How can I recreate that environment? And I think every year we get closer. And that's our North Star in many ways.
The planned expansion reflects both rising interest in entrepreneurship among high school students spurred by TikTok and a regional appetite for programs that offer hands-on, practical business experience. Since 2015, the program has served over 300 students. Austin, Texas-based Vital Farms is providing an update on its planned $250 million egg washing and packing facility in Seymour. The company said this week that the facility, slated to open in 2027, will be known as Vital Crossroads, reflecting Indiana's official state motto as the Crossroads of America. Original plans called for the facility to be built in phases, with 150 jobs added in the first phase. Now, the company says it will be constructed in just one phase, bringing some 400 jobs to Seymour by mid-2027. A Crown Point-based biopharmaceutical company affiliated with Purdue University is preparing to move into clinical development of its intravenous caffeine-based therapies thanks to a $5.6 million oversubscribed round of funding. OYE Therapeutics is developing a drug that brings people out of anesthesia much faster, and among the first to benefit could be U.S. soldiers on the front lines, says CEO Brett Dines.
My grandfather served in the military, and being able to help them out is something that's special, and knowing that you're going to hopefully help, save one kid's life is the way that we look at it.
OYE said proceeds from the funding round will support its Phase 1 pharmacokinetic and safety study, as well as subsequent pivotal trials. The company expects to submit the drug to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration next year. Sports writer Mike Chappell is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
From breaking news to in-depth articles, discover the advantage of unlimited access to all news from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business with our limited time trial. Get started now at ibj.com/trial offer.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.